this Feast of Tabernacles pictures the millennial reign of Jesus when he returns. And a lot of there's been a lot of, you see a lot of paintings, illustrations. A lot of churches have things, and they always picture the kingdom of God, this beautiful Garden of Eden-like setting, and and you got your pet lion and your pet wolf, are all tame and everything. It's a beautiful, and rightly so, because God's word tells us that. And I'd like to, go over a few of these familiar passages. And then, Isaiah 2, verse 1 through 4. The word which Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem said, "Now it will come about in the last days, the mountain of the house of the Lord will be established as the chief of the mountains, and will be raised above the hills, and all nations will stream to it." And I lost my place. "And many people will come and say, 'Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us concerning his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For the law will go forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he will judge between the nations, and render decisions for many peoples. And they will hammer their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. And nation will not lift up sword against nation, and never again will they learn war." And also in Isaiah 11, 4 through 9. "But with righteousness he will judge the poor, and decide with fairness for the afflicted of the earth. And he will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and the breath of his lips he will slay the wicked. Also righteousness will be the belt about his loins, and faithfulness the belt about his waist. And the wolf will dwell with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little boy will lead them. Also the cow and the bear will graze, and their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox, and the nursing child will play by the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den, and they will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea." And in Isaiah 41, 17, "The afflicted and needy are seeking water, but there is none, and their tongue is parched with thirst. I, the Lord, will answer them myself. As the God of Israel, I will not forsake them. For I will open rivers on the bare heights, and springs in the midst of the valleys. And I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land fountains of water. I will put cedar in the wilderness, and the acacia and the myrtle and the olive tree. I will place the juniper in the desert, together with the box tree and the cypress." And a few more verses here in Daniel, and I'll comment on it. In Daniel 7, verse 18, it says, "The saints of the highest one will receive the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, for all ages to come." Skip to 22. It says, "The Ancient of Days came, and judgment was passed in favor of the saints and of the highest one. And a time arrived when the saints took possession of the kingdom. And in 27, then the sovereignty and dominion and greatness of all the kingdoms under the whole heaven will be given to the people of the saints of the highest one. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions will serve and obey him. You know, those passages get me to thinking, those, what that tells us, that's going to be, well, first thing, don't need a military anymore, because there's no war anymore, no politics, and no dirty tricks and elections and all the mess that goes along with that. I'm kind of a news junkie, and I get so sick of hearing all this stuff, that like's going on right now, trying to appoint this man to the Supreme Court, and it's just unbelievable, the dirty tricks and mess that they're going through just trying to get this man in. And no more politics, no more man's government, but righteous saints under Jesus will be ruling the world. No more crime, no jails. There'll just be one faith, one church, one religion. Eventually, everyone's going to be on the same page. No one educational system, one economic system. It's going to be a wonderful time. But I wanted to kind of look at a different aspect of the kingdom and kind of be a bit of a party pooper, but you think about it, try to sit and imagine what the kingdom's going to be like, and there's a lot that the God words tells us, and you kind of got to speculate and imagine some things too. But one thing that strikes me is that at the start, when Jesus returns and the millennial kingdom is set up, at first it's really not going to be a lot of fun, because look, just think about what is happened. Jesus comes and in wrath, and he comes and we meet him in the air, and we come to the Mount of Olives, and we're all on our war horses, and we start out by wiping out the beast army. And then just look what's going on. I mean, if you do the math in the book of Revelation, it appears that about 90% of the population of this world has been killed. The earth is devastated. All the plagues, all the things that are described in the book of Revelation. But, but even after that, there's still many millions of people that are going to be left in this world. And just think, they have been through the worst time in the history of this planet. They're going to be traumatized and shocked. They're going to need food, shelter. They're going to need comforted, encouraged, that, hey, the kingdom's here now. Things are going to start getting better now. And, in Ephesians 1:10, it tells us that we are going to be God's administration under Jesus. And we're going to have our work cut out for us, Because I mean, you know, God will God will have to do some things supernaturally right away. I mean, like changing the nature of the animals. That's something God will supernaturally do. That'll happen right away. Uh, you know, He's probably going to have to supernaturally feed and clothe and provide water for people. But but it's going to be a time of it's going to be a time where a lot of work is going to have to be done. A lot of cleaning up. Rebuilding. People may need to be moved around. I don't know how. I have no idea what transportation or communication is going to be like then, but we'll find out. We'll find out, and there's going to have re-education. We're going to have to start a re-education process for people. Agriculture is going to have to be restarted and taught to be done God's way. Just so much is going to have to be done, and even with Satan put away and not influencing people, there's still going to be a lot of human nature left in people. There's still going to be some rebelliousness. In Zechariah 14, 16 through 19, it tells us, it says, "Then it will come about that any who are left of all the nations that went against Jerusalem will go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to celebrate the Feast of Booths. And it will be that whichever of the families of the earth do not go up to Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, there will be no rain on them. And if the family of Egypt does not go up or enter, then no rain will fall on them. And it will be the plague which the Lord smites the nations who do not go up to celebrate the Feast of Booths. This will be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations who do not go up to celebrate the Feast of Booths." So, that indicates to us that, there's still going to be some rebelliousness going on. How long that lasts, I don't know, but, it's going to be a process. It may be a fairly long process. Who knows? We don't know, but it's going to be, like I said, we are going to be God's administration. We're going to be, says we're going to be kings and priests. We're going to be teachers, judges, builders. We're going to have a lot to do, and that's what we're being trained for. That's what we're in training for now. That's why we go through the things. God puts us through situations and training and works in our lives, and He's got this all under control. He knows where He's going to place us in His kingdom, and He's preparing us for it and working with us, and I look forward to it. I look forward to that, and it's going to be, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that Garden of Eden, like utopia that's pictured in Isaiah and in other places. But I don't think it's going to happen with a snap of a finger. But it's going to happen. And a lot of churches, we've been, you know, some of us been associated with one of them, and there's others that, they make this coming millennial kingdom like the gospel. This is the be all end all, the gospel, and it's a wonderful thing, but it's not. It's going to be a wonderful thing, but it's just the next major step in God's plan in dealing with sin and rebellion and bringing in eternity and bringing in the new heaven and new earth. And that's what we really look forward to. But I do look forward. It's going to be a great time of learning and growing, and I really look forward to it. And I just kind of hope it gives you a little something to think about. That when we go through the trials and the things we go through, there's a purpose for it. It really is, and just pray that God will that we will submit to His training and look forward to what He's got in store for us. Hallelujah.